Hello. In this video, I will be covering the JSON format used to define recipes in Minecraft data packs for version 1.21.5. This is a core part of Minecraft modding and data pack development. If you find this video helpful or informative, please like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and leave a comment. Also, a big thank you to BisectHosting for supporting my channel and my mod pack development. I will talk more about their services later in this video. So let's get started. First, we should talk about where recipes go. So recipe files go inside the recipe folder, which is found in the namespace, which in turn is found in the data folder. Again, as a review, the namespace can be named whatever you want, but data and recipe are case sensitive. So that's important. In terms of the JSON structure of general in all the files we're going to talk about today, they are all defined by their type. So type in this example here for crafting shaped, the type key value pair is defined as Minecraft crafting shaped. That's real important, and that will be used throughout this video. So now that we have the general information out of the way, let's get into our first type of recipe, which, as I just said, was crafting shaped. So crafting shaped is used for in the normal 3x3 crafting table when you need a specific configuration of items. An example of a shaped crafting recipe are the various tools and armor pieces. So with that in mind, the next key value pair is optional. This is the category. So category means the type, the specification that you will find in the recipe book in vanilla. So you can do a variety of things on that. You can do building, equipment, redstone, or miscellaneous. And by miscellaneous, I mean MISC. The latter is the default if you do not specify the category. So you do not have to do this, but I figured I'd do this as a comprehensive guide. Next is the pattern. So the pattern is defined as an array of 3 strings that are 3 characters long. Note, not everyone does it exactly like that, but I highly recommend you model how the crafting table looks like, again the 3x3 grid, to make your code more readable by yourself and other people that are checking out, let's say, your GitHub. So as you can see here, there are various characters in these strings, and those will be the keys. So A, B, and C are the keys. If there's a space, like there is in the middle of this one, that means no item is placed there. So speaking of keys, that is the next thing with a shaped crafting recipe. So keys are defined as a variety of objects. So in this case, it's A, B, and C. A is defined as cyan dye, B is defined as emerald, and C is defined as light blue dye. Now that we have the input, which is the pattern and its respective keys, let's talk about the output. In other words, the result. The result made to be equal to an object with an ID, an item ID, in this case diamond block, and an optional count. In this case, I put 64. The last thing is another optional specification you can make. It's called show notification. And what show notification means is when a recipe is unlocked in the vanilla game, it will show a toast on the top right. So for example, when you punch your first log and your survival world, the the planks recipe is unlocked per se. If you don't want this notification to be shown, you can set that to false. But if it's not specified, it defaults to true. So with that being said, let us take a look at this in game. So as we can see here, we have our various workstations. Let's get us the various things we need in Emerald. So looking back in the video, the pattern was cyan dye on the top left and bottom right. Emerald were on the four sides, and light blue dye was on the other two corners. And as you can see, that gets us diamond blocks. In addition, you can see the recipes is in the book. Okay? So with that being said, let us move on to our next script that we need, or next JSON rather, which is crafting shapeless. So crafting shapeless is another crafting table operation, but instead of a particular configuration, it's just an array of inputs. So an example would be dyeing a bed. Let's say you have a white bed and a red dye, and putting that in the crafting table gets you a red bed. So that's an example of a shapeless crafting recipe. Shapeless crafting is real simple. As you can see, just like crafting shaped and the following that we will do, the type goes first. So the type is defined as Minecraft crafting shapeless. And then the next thing we need to specify is the ingredients. So the ingredients is simply an array. So as you can see, we have two items, well, one item and one tag. You can do tags and inputs, so keep that in mind. So anything in Minecraft dirt tag, so dirt itself, grass block, etc., that will be accepted, as well as cobblestone. And then the third thing we need is the result. So the result is Minecraft diamond. Same thing as well, a similar format as crafting shaped. Instead of diamond blocks, we're getting diamonds now, with a count of 64. Again, the count stays optional. So let's take a look at this now in game. I'm going to give myself dirt and grass, just to illustrate the concept, and cobblestone. So let's take a look at this. As you can see, there we go. It's in the recipe. If we want to instead do a grass block and a cobblestone now, we also get diamonds. So again, the tag thing works. All right, now let us move on to our next example. Which is crafting transmute. So crafting transmute is a particular type of recipe that in which the input, as specified here, has some sort of NBT data. So, for example, damage, enchantment, etc. And then the material is kind of a catalyst per se that is consumed in the recipe. So, and as I forgot to say, it's defined type as Minecraft crafting transmute, and then the input, which is our netherite sword that has whatever NBT data the player has in game. Then the material, in this case anything with Minecraft planks, so oak wood planks, spruce, birch, etc. And then finally is the result, and the result is specified with an ID. In this case, wooden sword. So let's take a look at that in game now to test it out. So I'm going to give myself a netherite sword. I'm going to give myself a wooden sword. I'm going to give myself, let's say, birch wood planks. For the sake of demonstration, I'm going to enchant my tool with, let's say, sharpness 5. Okay, so as you can see, I have enchanted sword. And if I put it in the recipe, it will change it to a wooden sword, but it still has sharpness 5. So that's real important. It still has that specific thing you need. And then if we take it out, it works. So now that we have the crafting recipes, crafting table recipes done, let us move on to stone cutting. So stone cutting is another pretty simple operation. It's defined with the type of stone cutting, and then the ingredient, in other words, the input, is a diamond block. And then the result is something similar to a crafting table recipe. So with an ID and a count. In this case, the ID is diamond, and then we want 9 of them as the output. All right, let us show this in game. We can clear that. Let's give us some diamond blocks. And if we put them in and click, we get 9 stacks of diamonds for 1 stack of diamond blocks. So that checks out. Now, before continuing on the video, I would like to give a shout out to my fantastic server hosting partner, BisectHosting. This is a great service that I've used for quite a while now. They offer server hosting for over 80 games. In addition, you can pre-install over 2,000 Minecraft mod packs automatically. They offer 24/7, 365 customer support that can help you troubleshoot your server and mods. You have full file access, and you can host your server from across 20 secure locations around the world. They offer advanced DDoS protection as well. If you're interested, I would please and I would be grateful if you would check out the service used through my affiliate link to bring you to the website that you can see I got a screenshot from. There's plenty of great information there that can help inform a possible purchase that is good for you. There's plenty of options. Thank you to Bisect Hosting for supporting my channel, and I'm always happy to support them in return. But now back to the video. The last 4 types are cooking per se recipes. So the first one is going to be smelting. As you can see here, it's, again, as always, it's defined by a type. In this case, Minecraft smelting. The next thing we need is ingredient. In this case, I'm passing in glowberries. And then the result, I'm specifying to be glowstone dust. In this case, I don't really need a count, but if you wanted a count, you could add that in a very similar way, in the exact way for that matter, to shape crafting, shapeless crafting, etc. And then 2 additional optional arguments are experience, which if you do not specify that, it defaults to nothing. And then cooking time, how many ticks does it take? Not seconds, but ticks does it take to smelt in this case, which I specified as 50. So with that in mind, let's take a look in game now. I already have fuel in the furnace, all 3 of the smelting devices. So let's take a look at glowberries first. And as you can see, they smelt into glowstone. So with that in mind, let us take a look at our next example, which is very similar. In this case, it is blasting. So blasting is very similar to smelting, except the type. So instead of smelting, it's blasting. And for this one, I set a category. You can do that for smelting. You can do that for smoking as well. In this case, I did it as blocks. And then as the ingredient or the input, I specified as raw iron block. And then the result, I specified as an iron block. So really what I'm doing is basically compacting the recipe itself. So I'm also specifying the experience to give 9 times as much as it would take to smelt a raw iron into an iron ingot. And then I also specified as 9 times the amount of cooking time. So with that in mind, let us take a look in game. I'm going to give myself a raw iron block. Go into blasting. And then you see it's smelting, but it's taking a while, right? Because it's 900 ticks. And then I don't want to wait the whole time. So looking at the recipe book, you can see I'm using the block of raw iron. So if I click that, there we go. Next, again, a very similar one to smelting and blasting is smoking. Smoking is specified with the type of Minecraft smoking. You can do the category as well. I'm specifying the ingredient as Minecraft diamond, and then the result as dirt. And I figured I'd give you at least some consolation for spending a diamond in terms of experience, and then a cooking time of 100. Again, as in blasting and smelting, the latter two key value pairs are optional. So let's take a look at that in game. As you can see, we got our block of raw iron there. But what we want is to make some dirt. So again, it's appearing there, so we can just click that and it's making dirt. And if you pay attention to the bottom of the screen, you will get some experience as well. All right. Now moving on to the last concept of this video, which is campfire cooking. So campfire cooking is specified with the type of campfire cooking. You can specify a category, so I'm doing food in this case. My input or my ingredient are sweet berries, and then the result is an ID of glowberries. And also, I'm giving some experience in specifying the cooking time. Again, as similar to the last three, these last two key value pairs are optional. So let us check this out in game. Let's give us some sweet berries and put it on the fire. So after not very long, because I specified 200 ticks, you get glowberries. And then you get some experience as well. So I hope that this video was informative. I would appreciate if you would like this video, subscribe, turn on notifications, and leave a comment. Before we go though, 5 key takeaways. Every recipe JSON must have a type field. There are many optional fields like category, cooking time, experience, group, and show notification that can give you more control, but if you need it, of course. You have to follow the specific file structure, so data, namespace, recipes, or recipe, I'm sorry. You avoid errors by validating your JSON with the IDE like Visual Studio Code, and recipes from later loading packs can override earlier ones with the same ID. Again, more examples will be found in future videos, but if you're interested in learning more, feel free to check out the other videos in my playlist. Um, Again, thank you to BisectHosting for supporting my channel. Check out my affiliate link in the description below. Otherwise, thank you for watching and have a great day.